Hello YouTube friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Mia and I have Klippel-Feil syndrome, and this channel is about me and my life and what it's like to live with this disease, condition, illness, call it what you want. Really, I don't know what I want to call it. And I share my life, my hobbies, how I feel, how I don't feel, everything. So if you want to know what it's like to live with a degenerative disease, and yeah, you can follow along. I knit and I diamond paint, so if you like these hobbies, you'll see that here. So I would really appreciate it if you would be a subscriber here. Maybe you'll learn something new. Maybe you don't. Maybe you have Klippel-Feil syndrome yourself, and want to know other people and want to know how other people are affected. So welcome. It's so good to see you here. And if you're back, welcome back. I'm really happy to see you here again. Before I start on today's subjects, I really want to ask you all to give this video a like. It means a lot to me if you want to give it likes. I have videos that get a decent amount of views, but not many people give my videos a like, and I don't really understand why. But I would appreciate it if you would give this video a like before you leave. And also write me a comment, ask questions, something, really. And then if you aren't already subscribed, please do. And if you want to be notified whenever I put out new videos, there's a bell next to the subscribe button. You can push that bell and decide how often you want to be notified. So yeah, with that out of the way, I decided that I wanted to talk about bullying. When you grow up and look different, I mean, I have always looked different. It's hard to see with my clothes on, but when I just sit, you can sort of see that my one shoulder is a bit higher up than my right shoulder. No, yes, right shoulder. So, and sort of goes like this a little bit, and I can't turn my neck, you know. If I have to see something behind me, I know I have to turn my whole upper body and my entire body. And kids pick up on that. I mean, I never did anything to anybody. I was just different. I can't run, really. I mean, I can run, but I can't run, you know. I'm slow. It looks funny when I run. And at the same time, I was good in school. I could read before I even started in school. And some of the kids at my school they weren't problem kids, not at all, but they were just, you know, kids who weren't, their parents was from other countries, or they had issues one way or another, or they worked a lot and didn't have as much time with their children, and they had a hard time learning to read and write. You know, there can be so many reasons why some kids have it hard at school, and I'm not blaming anybody, you know. But at the same time, it's not my fault that I was good, you know. School always was easy for me, except for math. I don't do math, really. but often you see that you're either good in the math side or in the language side of things, and I learned languages easy. But I think kindergarten was okay. I didn't have a lot of friends, but I talked to people, and I just, you know, I don't remember much from kindergarten. Really, to be honest, I don't remember a lot from my childhood at all. I kind of blocked everything because in more than one way, my childhood wasn't very pleasant. Um, and if you know anything about trauma and anything like that, you know that in order for a brain, or especially a brain of a child, to function and to live, it blocks out stuff. And I remember bits here and there, and I remember people chasing me and kicking me and hitting me and telling me horrible things. And I don't remember being bullied in the kindergarten. I don't. But we had a person in our class for a period of time that was studying to become a teacher, and she was supposed to write an assignment and to pick a child to write that assignment about, and she picked me. So I have that piece of paper or that project that she wrote, and reading it as an adult, I mean, I just want to take that little girl and give her a hug, I mean, I sought out adult attention. When other children's parents was in our class, I would go to them and sit on the lap, and hold adult people's hands, to seek comfort. And reading that assignment as an adult, I can see all the signs of a child that wasn't a happy child, So then in first grade, and I have no idea what changed. No idea. Maybe we got new kids in class, and maybe it was because that we had to, in first grade, we started to learn how to read and write, and, we learned the letters, and I knew them. And even though I remember specifically, I wanted to help everybody. I mean, if I sat next to a child that had difficulties, I would help them, because why not, and maybe I didn't help the right child, or maybe I helped the wrong thing. I don't know. But I remember, how people started, when we walked home from school, that they would run after me and they would hit me, and in recess, that they would hit me and they would keep me away from other people, and I would spend a lot of time on my own. If it were allowed, I would go to the school library and read books, but often in the small classes and in the younger classes, we were supposed to be outside if the weather was all right. That's so hard to talk about. But I just remember, being scared because I never knew. Some days were okay, and then some would play with me and be nice to me, and of course it wasn't the entire class that bullied me. It was just, a handful there and a handful here, and I don't remember if this was in the first grade or if it was in the later years, but I had these little necklaces with hearts and cross and stuff, and people would rip those gold necklaces to make me sad, because apparently a little necklace was a sign of me being wealthy, of me having stuff that they didn't have. I don't know. I mean, and then I came home and my mom would yell at me because people had ruined my necklace and it had to be fixed or a new had to be bought. I don't know, you know. And I kept telling her, then don't give me the necklace to school. Don't let me wear it to school because they will do it again. I mean, I don't remember how many necklaces were torn. You know, they would just grab it and rip it. And it would hurt like hell, you know, sorry for that word, beep. When they just took it and yanked it because it would, you know, kind of tear itself into my flesh, you know. I honestly don't remember how many necklaces, but it was a lot. And before they either stopped or my mom stopped making me wear them, I don't know. But the bullying wasn't, and even though I told my parents, you know, and they talked to my teachers, and they would, you know, have the bully of the day, let us call it that, the bully of the day, sit down, you know, and tell that person to say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, and I would say, yeah, it's okay, I forgive you, you know. Talks like that happened at least once a week, sometimes almost every day. And, you know, as an adult, I'm like, can't you see? I don't understand how you, as an adult, as a teacher, as a parent, if your child comes home and tells you that they're bullied in school, do something. I mean, I was bullied from grade, first grade until ninth grade. And the thing is, I had a bad temper. Really, I had a bad temper. And I would scream and yell, and I would hit them and kick them, you know, when they hit me. And the biggest issue is when you react, it's more fun. And even though that, you know, every teacher and my parents would say, just ignore them and they will leave you alone. I was told that like a gazillion times. And the problem was, they knew that if they just poked long enough, I would ignite. My temper would blow away, you know. And I don't know if there weren't schools enough, you know. I wanted to change my school like every year, but most of the schools in our neighborhood were private schools, and there weren't money for that, you know. My brother changed his school because of other issues, but I don't know why I wasn't allowed, you know. Maybe because school was easy. You know, I did my homework. I got good grades when we started getting grades, but I was alone. I had one friend that stuck with me, and the the funny thing with children is, you know, then in periods when some of the girls wouldn't bully me, I would take that attention, you know, if they wanted to talk to me and you know, do stuff with me, or if a new girl came into our class, I would, you know, immediately try to befriend them, to have someone on my side, you know, and I would have friends for a little while, or I had friends from out of school, you know, friends that weren't in our school, or and I had hobbies. I was a Girl Scout, and I went to gymnastics and had friends there, which kind of helped because there I was just Mia there. I wasn't the weird one or I don't know what I was to these people. I just knew that I had so many days where I was just like, I just wish I was dead. I didn't want to live because people told me, just ignore them and it'll be better, and maybe if you, and then something. And I don't understand why I needed to do stuff. Why was I the one that somehow had to change so that other kids wouldn't hurt me, either physical or mentally? I withdrew myself from people. I spent every recess in the library, and when we got older, I just left the school. When we were allowed to leave the school, I would leave the school and walk up to my dad in the kiosk that he worked at that time, or did we own it? I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't remember when my parents bought it. But I preferred to stay as far away as possible from my classmates. I never knew what to expect every morning. I didn't know if this would be a day where I was just ignored, or if it would be a day that, they would call me names. I remember people telling me that me not being able to move my neck was something I made up to get attention. And I remember some of the boys would come and one would hold my head, try to hold it. Other people would grab me, by my shoulders, and then they would try to make my head move from side to side while I screamed in agony because it hurt like hell. My vertebrae are fused. They can't be moved. They could have broken my neck by doing that. And nobody did anything. Nobody stopped them. People laughed. And I remember, being in so much pain, and I was just, shake it off. They were just making fun, lighten up, Mia. It was just fun. And maybe it was fun to them, but it wasn't fun to me. Sorry about that. Yeah. As we got older, the bullying would most of all just be, bad-mouthing me and saying bad things to me, and sometimes they would push me or my chair, or they would take some of my stuff, and throw it through the classroom or put it in other desks, or something like that. And I felt like nobody did anything. I eventually just stopped telling. Why would I? It hadn't changed. When we came to the 10th grade, I asked to be moved into another class. We were 2 classes at our year, and I asked to be moved because I wanted just 1 year to be okay. Um, and it was okay. I mean, people talked to me and um, they were nice to me and they talked to me and they knew that my parents had the kiosk at that time. So, they would, tell me how cool it was that my parents had a kiosk and how good it was in school. And, it was a good year. In 10th grade, we go on a trip out of country with our class, and our class went to Norway. Yeah, Norway. For a ski trip in, I don't know if it was February or March. And even though I I injured myself on the first day, people, it wasn't, I wasn't alone. I lived in the cabin with some of the other ones, and we had fun, and we would eat toasts and play games and play cards, and I tried really hard, not to make them pay for what other people had done to me. And I enjoyed having friends, but it was just 1 year out of 10, And this has followed me ever since, And it's not just kids who are cruel, adults is cruel as well. So I have a really hard time trusting people because I don't believe anybody wants really, really want me. I expect that when I meet new people, they're kind because, I'm an interesting new person, and then eventually, when I've given them all I can, they just stop calling, or they, and I know sometimes it's my fault as well because I don't trust them. I don't let people in. Why would I? Maybe they find something that they can use against me, I have very, very few friends. I know a lot of people, but are they my friends, The first person that I really, really trusted with my entire being was my husband. I've known him for 22 years by now. And then in 2004, when I was at the clinic to learn how to manage pain, I was given the opportunity to talk to a psychiatrist, a shrink, and I took it. Why not? It was 12 hours, and up until then, I was tough. I had a facade that was mild, thick. You couldn't do or say anything that would rattle my world because nobody got in, The only one that really knew me was David. But that lady, she got to me, she asked all the right questions, and I don't remember, one day she just, asked a question. And I don't remember what the question was, but I just remember that I cried for like an hour. um, and I remember her saying to me, "Thank you. Now I can work with you." And I remember, at the end of our 12 sessions, I told her, "Thank you. You ruined me. I cry all the time." And I still cry all the time. I cry when I watch movies or when I read a book. Um, but it's good to feel yourself. And I know I need a lot of more counseling. I need to talk to people about everything that had happened in my life, but maybe telling it here, maybe talking to you guys about what I've been through helps too. I know that a lot of people was bullied. I know that. And I also know that the people that bully feel awful inside. I mean, we know that today. People have, they have made um, surveys with people that bullied as a child, and they talked about how bad they were, at home, that their lives was horrible. But how does that excuse that they treat other people so bad? I never deserved being treated like that. Never. I was a little girl and I was different, but bullying is wrong. It is. And I don't understand that even today schools talk about we have these rules in our school and we don't let people bully, and I read on a weekly basis about how people has been bullied. How come that we in 35 years haven't done anything? You know? How are kids still bullied? I mean, we hear about how children hang themselves or shoot themselves or something because they were bullied so bad. I mean, I was considering how to end my life because I was bullied and nobody did anything. I mean, I didn't know how to, because if I had known, maybe I would have done something. I was just at a loss and I was alone. I mean, sometimes I believe that if it hadn't been for my books and my music, I mean, when I was around 10, I became a fan of New Kids on the Block, NKOTB, and I'm pretty sure that they and the music, kind of saved my life. Because when I watched interviews or read interviews or listened to the music, I felt heard. I felt important to them. And in my books, I found a world beyond my own world that wasn't very happy. So I just made my brain my escape. But we need to be better. We need to figure out how to protect children from bullying. I mean, I don't. When I was a child, there wasn't internet, there wasn't social networks, there weren't social anything, there weren't Facebook or Instagram or whatever, TikTok. Those things didn't exist back then. They do today, and cyberbullying is just as bad. We need to learn how to be better. We do. We need to learn how to be better. yeah. I don't think that I have anything else to say. So I think I want to stop here, and maybe I talk about this subject again in another video. And if you have comments or questions or anything, just write it down below, and don't forget, give this video a like. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Bye. See you next time.